Example 4 says the rectangular coordinates of a point are given. Find the polar coordinates of each. So now we're going to go backwards, right? So previous example wanted us to find the rectangular, given us the polar. Now we are given the rectangular and our job is to find the polars. So here are the guidelines or the steps for converting from rectangular to polars. Step 1, always plot the point first. So we're going to cross this out because we did not, I copy and paste this from your book. So our examples a little bit out of order. Step number 2, if x equals to 0 or y equals to 0, use your illustration to find r comma theta. And again, cross that out. Okay. Step number 3, if x is not 0 and y is not 0, then use the radius formula, which is the square root of x squared plus y squared, to solve for it. Step number 4, to find theta, first determine the quadrant, just like earlier, for example 3, right? Different quadrants, you have to either add a pi, half a circle, or not. So theta is always tangent inverse of y divided by x, and we don't do anything if we are in quads 1 and 4 because tangent inverse is restricted in 1 and 4 naturally. If you're in quad 3 or 2, then you have to add half a circle, which is pi. So let's practice. Are you ready? First, make sure you sketch it out. Okay, plot it out. This is rectangular, so 0, 4, 0 is x, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's right there. That tells us if I were to draw a circle, this tells me the radius is immediately 4, and the angle is just going to be at pi over 2. So look at that. I don't even have to do anything and to get the answer right away. It's always radius of comma theta. Radius is 4 and theta is pi over 2. Bam. Look at that. Easy peasy. Then let's sketch this out. You have an x value of 3, 1, 2, 3, a y value of negative 3, 1, 2, 3. So my sketch tells me I'm in quadrant number 4. Well, in quadrant number 4, as you guys already know, I'm going to use tangent inverse. So theta equals tangent inverse of y divided by x. Well, y, it's going to be a negative 3. X is 3. So that's going to be tangent inverse of negative 1. Whoa, that's cool because that's a negative pi over 4. Okay, so I got my theta. Now let's find the radius. To find the radius, we will use r equals the square root of x squared plus y squared. Radius is going to be x squared, 3 squared would be 9, plus the quantity, which is negative 3 squared, is also 9. So that will give me the square root of 18. 18 is going to be simplified that down to 3 rad 2. So I have an answer. Remember, it's always radius comma theta. So radius is 3 rad 2. Theta is going to be a negative pi over 4. I need a bit more space in that box. There you go. Now, would it be okay if you use positive angle? Of course. Okay, I'm going to write down here. Or what if we write 3 rad 2 comma 7 pi over 4? Why not? I can totally do that. If I don't choose to go clockwise on my angle, I can go counterclockwise. I would still get to the same exact dot, okay? And you can even get creative, right? Would you agree that you can even have an angle in quad 2 and then just make the radius negative? Of course, all of that is possible. So what I'm saying is that on a test, you can technically have infinitely many different answers. So it doesn't have to be what I have written here or what the book has in the back of the book. I mean, what the book has in the back as an answer. All right, you're on C. Let's draw it out. It's a negative 1 for x and a negative square root of 3. Well, square root of 3 is going to be in between 2 and 3 in terms of, in between 1 and 2. Between 1 and 2. Because square root of 1 is 1, square root of 4 is 2, and 3 is right in between 1 and 4. So somewhere here is where my dot is, right there in quad 3. Well, let's figure out my angle. theta equals tangent inverse of y divided by x. Y is negative rad 3, x is negative 1. That's definitely a negative, and a negative is now positive, so that's why it's in quad 3. So I would now have 4 pi over 3, right? Because that's the angle in quadrant number 3. Now let's find radius. Radius is the square root of x squared, which is the quantity of 1 squared is 1, plus the quantity of negative rad 3 squared, which is now positive 3. Oh, I made a radical sign way too big. So that will give me a value of 2. So 2 comma 4 pi over 3. Yep, totally okay to have. What if I write 2 comma and go clockwise, just like that? Of course you can. Negative 2 pi over 3 sounds good to me. You can also have that. And again, you can have different answer and still be okay, as long as your point still brings you back in quad 3. And that's example 4 for you guys.